to the Downtown Scoop, your Downtown Canton Partnership podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Dukes, and I'm here with the goofy Mike Sturdivant.
I keep it up on my thing of making Amanda laugh right before we go on. So we set the tone the right way.
He's not talking in his professional voice right now. I'm a little upset you guys missed it. He did it before I hit record.
I was like, hey, welcome to the Downtown Scoop podcast.
He was concerned about his microphone being shown in a podcast, and I told him it was okay. Like, we can see that you have a mic.
I have confidence issues, you know.
It's all right. You didn't want the mic taking away all your shine. That's what Listen, if I could just walk around and hold a microphone all the time, I would. I do have one of those.
I should get you one of those speakers that plug into your belt so you could just walk around and with the headset on all day at work.
Is that a thing? I'm loud enough. I don't need the volume. That's not the problem. They actually probably would prefer the opposite when it goes to me. Shout out to the DoubleTree in downtown Canton.
Yes.
First of all, if you guys haven't already, go follow DoubleTree Downtown Canton Facebook page, because I don't know if you know, but you have a chance every week to win a tin of warm, delicious DoubleTree cookies. Mike knows all about that.
If you won those cookies, I can tell you want that in your life.
You do. And then all you have to do is guess where our DoubleTree Downtown Canton mascot Chip is, and he's somewhere around the city, so you should be familiar. So it serves the purpose of all these events and things that we talk about here, and you get to know your city and win some cookies. I'm trying to find the cons here. All of these are pros.
Chip needs to take a visit down to our guest's location.
I'm thinking you're right. That's a great idea. So we'll plan that for after. So you guys got a little sneak peek. All right. So we're in there. This is the benefits of being a viewer of the Downtown Scoop. You get insights on how to win cookies.
How to get cookies.
That'll be the new tagline. Want to win cookies?
Follow the Scoop podcast.
Follow the Scoop. All right, guys. Speaking of our guests, I'm super excited to be talking to these wonderful individuals today. They are going to bring us some knowledge in this program that they've been working on. And it's kind of cool because they kind of hit Mike up like, hey, we have something we want to talk about. And Mike was like, well, we like talking.
We specialize in.
But especially what this is, it's really cool. Yeah.
I love this because, just because of the nature of summer in downtown Canton, we've been so event heavy on our guests. And this is an event, I guess, but not different from what we're doing. But it's very, very important information. Yeah. And when they kind of like laid it out, everything this organization does is spectacular. They do so many things. I don't think everybody knows how much this organization does in the community, but this is especially one that I thought was really cool. And I threw it out to you and you loved it. We're like, let's make it happen. That's what we do. We make things happen on this podcast.
That's just, it's who we are.
You're welcome, downtown Canton and beyond.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to introduce our guests, Chris and Teresa from the Goodwill. Welcome to the Scoop, guys.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Thank you guys so much for joining us and wanting to share about your event and program. So first, tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got involved with Goodwill.
So first of all, I am an avid cookie lover, so this is all wonderful for me.
Yes, my cookie people.
The DoubleTree downtown when he was off screen, he was like,
Chris, come see me. You now have a hookup.
So my name is Chris Ady. I work in the training department with Goodwill Industries of Greater Cleveland, East Central Ohio. I've been with Goodwill for 11 years now. And kind of, one thing that a lot of people may not know about Goodwill is we're more than just retail stores, which hopefully everybody understands by the end of this podcast. But our mission is to empower people on their journey to independence through the sale of donated goods that fund family strengthening and employment service programs. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of the programs that we have that's coming up, and we're hoping to, do multiple times next year as well. So that is, kind of who I am, what we do, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and I'm Teresa Debarlaben, and I love all things sweets. So if you say cookies, cakes, candy, that's me.
Yes. That was such an
I'm-
unplanned plug about the cookies.
Uh-oh.
by the way.
Yeah,
That
we
just
took it and
happened,
ran
so
with it.
it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. I felt that. So I have been with Goodwill for 3 years now. I'm a training and development coordinator, and so I do a lot of the training. We roll out a lot of the in-house training. We do external training around our DEIB. And so that's pretty much what we do. This program here is so near and dear to my heart. And I'm just excited to be here. And thank you all for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you guys so much.
Can you
And
give
I
people-
definitely have learned over the years that Goodwill is more than just a retail store. So I love that you guys are here, because some people don't know that. They don't know and what an incredible resource it is in general for those people in like trying to become more independent or just in a transition in life. And I mean, I love a good bargain, a good deal, but it's definitely different when you're in need and you have all of these resources. I've had a friend who works for Goodwill, and just I learned a little more throughout that process too, just talking to her. So thank you guys for what you do, first of all, and wanting to share. So tell us about the program that you are here to speak about today, and we will get into a little bit of everything, but I definitely want to make sure that we hear about this incredible program that you guys have going on.
All right, so this program is called Project Blueprint. And, so it's a program that's, for nonprofit boards throughout Greater Stark County. So we received this program in 2019 from United Way and, of Stark County. And they launched this program with the ideal that we don't have enough diversity on our boards. And so that's kind of where that came from United Way. So they started a program called Project Blueprint, and it was designed to recruit, train, connect diverse volunteer leaders to policy making roles, and also to try to enhance and connect people with nonprofit agencies throughout the community. And so, Goodwill decided, okay, we connected with United Way. United Way said, hey, we have this cool program. We're unable to continue it, but we don't want to see it go away. And so they said, hey, Goodwill may be a good place for it to land. So we acquired the program from United Way at the beginning of this year. So that, gives us the opportunity to revamp it a little bit and put our own spin on it. But we are so excited that we finally think we have it almost perfect now. But, we are excited to be able to roll it out this fall for individuals in the community.
I love that. That is definitely something. I learned a little more about boards and communities working at the hotel, honestly, because that's who comes in and plans events and fundraisers and galas and all that. You have to have the board all together so they help make decisions. And you do see a lack of diversity in a lot of them. And sometimes, it's not on purpose. Sometimes other people are involved. They're just not on the board and the committees. But I definitely have noticed in the community, in any space, that it is important to have all different types of perspective from different backgrounds, because you want to represent the people. And as we've learned several times on this podcast, the people look like what you're looking at on this podcast in Canton. This is the community. Like, this is
yes.
like, guys. And
There's
even
a bunch of good looking
so.
people in Canton then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love that. And again, just such a beautiful representation of the collaboration and the care for the community itself. How United Way was like, hey, listen, we can't do this, but we really don't want it. This is needed. We don't want to see this go away, to find somebody to partner it, to take it, to nourish it and make it flourish. So I love that testimony and that story within this. That gives me chills a little bit, only because like I feel like, okay, goodness is going to come out of this. That wasn't by accident. So I get a little excited when stuff like that happens. So I love that you shared that.
Tell you from experience, talking with different organizations over the years, there's a ton of nonprofit organizations in not just Canton but Stark County. Yeah. When I say a ton, that might be an accurate count. Like it's a ton. and it ranges from, super small grassrootsy nonprofits to incredibly large ones like Goodwill and places like that. But the one thing that I know is, I don't want to use the word plaguing, but one thing that a lot of organizations are realizing, a lot of their board members who may be long-term board members are getting older, right? And they're wanting to scale back. And there's a ton of young professionals coming up who, are active in the Y-Starks and the young professional groups that want those opportunities. But there seems to be a disconnect in plugging those organizations in need and these young professionals and minorities who want those opportunities and just don't know how to even find those opportunities, And so this, I think, is great, because I know that's something that the Chamber's been working on with Y-Stark and building young professionals and giving those opportunities. Yeah. But this is just another layer and level to that, to really hone that in and get those people the training that they need, who are interested in taking those steps in their career and adding to their resumes and getting more involved in the community, whatever their goals are. This is fantastic. And I can tell you it's much, much needed. And I think it's great that you guys saw that need and said, no, we can't let this go. We gotta pick it up and run with it. And I don't know if there's a better organization to pick it up and run with it. With the other things that you guys are doing, it fits so perfectly in like your portfolio of services. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but it fits so perfectly with a lot of the other things that you guys do.
Yeah, so we there was an organization called Coming Together Stark County that existed in Stark County for a while up until COVID. COVID obviously kind of made things tough for them, and they had to dissolve. And Goodwill picked up that programming as well. It is now called Coming Together for Good. And the aim of that program is to basically provide education around diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging topics to local agencies, local businesses, and things like that. So you're absolutely right, Mike. Us picking up Project Blueprint and wrapping that into the services that we offer definitely fits with our agency and what we're striving to do now and moving forward. So, I like that. I like, Amanda, you talked about reflecting the community that we serve and the community that we live in, because we know that a lot of boards and a lot of, C-suite executive teams don't necessarily do that. Yes. So that's what this program is designed to do. It's designed to incorporate those varied perspectives and foster more inclusive policies and practices by having those more diverse voices at the table, because that's how you affect change in your community, is by having those voices at the table, not just being around, but actually being at the table and using their voice.
Great point.
I can definitely see too that there is a desire for that in some of these companies, even in the companies who've been operating the same and like we're fine year after year. There's kind of a cap in the growth here, because this is a very new generation to reach, and we're having to reach them in different ways than we ever have before. And so I think that they're definitely open more up, and maybe they're not even sure how. They're like, okay, so we're willing now to listen, but who are we listening to? Like, where are they at? And also, I'll use myself as an example, as a personal professional, a younger professional. I don't know where to look. I just assume these, we network and we talk about it, but until you can't just jump on a committee. In some sense you can, but how much better
you can. I think you can offer committee spots on every podcast guest so far. So, that might not apply to Amanda as much as everybody else.
Listen, that's not untrue, but it's to have the right one, Mike. I'll tell you, to have the right one, you need to have the right knowledge, right? For me to pick the one that I want to reach the most, the one that I feel like I'm going to benefit the most, who's going to serve more from my perspective and my experiences, my education and expertise, I need to have the knowledge behind that, which is, it sounds like what this program is going to offer. So why don't you guys tell us, what are we going to expect during these classes?
Before you go there, can I throw something else in?
No, Mike, why would you just interrupt my beautiful?
Sorry, but it's important. It's an important time to throw it in, because I think a misconception about Goodwill that I just learned recently is that everybody thinks you're a national organization, and you are, but you're also not, right? So maybe you can explain this a little better than me. So when you were making the point about knowing you're representing people in your community that are actually of the community. The better way you worded it. Can you explain to people the way Goodwill runs? Because you are a local organization with a local board and with local, so it's not the national, like your money's not going and funding a CEO in Washington, D.C. or in Seattle. Can you just tell people a little bit of just quick about how you operate? Because I think that'll explain it a little more.
So we tell people that we are a bottom-up organization. First of all, we're a social enterprise. What that means is we have two different arms of our agency. We have donated goods retail, which is our stores, our warehouse, logistics, HR, finance, all that stuff. And then we have mission services. And they are the sort of boots on the ground, the folks who are providing the services in our communities. And we offer roughly 30 different mission services programs that range from helping individuals overcome barriers to find and maintain employment, gain job skills, to parenting program that helps parents to learn vital childcare skills to keep their kids or get them back if they happen to be taken away. We have Compass, which is a rape crisis program. They help survivors of sexual assault. We send out advocates to sit with survivors in the middle of the night. We provide them with counseling and social services. So we do a range of different things, but the money that we earn through donated goods retail, through our stores, gets reinvested in our communities through those mission services programs. Right. And we say we're bottom up for that reason, Mike. And I'm glad you brought this up because our Goodwill covers 10 counties. We cover Lake, Geauga, and Cuyahoga in the north. We skip over like Summit, Medina, Portage. That's all Akron Goodwill. They are a separate Goodwill. We pick back up in Stark County and we go through East Central Ohio and the northern part of West Virginia. And yeah, we have our own leadership team, our own CEO, our own board of directors. Mm-hmm. We are independently operated. And we do that because we know what our communities need better than anybody else. Correct. And we know what our shoppers want better than anybody else. So when you donate, when you shop, all of those donations and all of that revenue that we get stays in your local community. It doesn't go to California or Texas or anywhere else. It stays here. So I appreciate you bringing that up and giving us a chance to.
I think that's just a misconception. And man, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it was just the perfect place. No. I just learned that recently and was kind of blown away. It's like, it's almost like I hate to say the word franchise nonprofit, but it operates a little bit the same way like a franchise would, where your franchise owners are still small business owners, still running their organization. They're just part of a bigger network. And I just kind of was just such a different approach for nonprofits to take. And I thought that was fantastic. And I just thought like that just kind of keys in to the services you guys offer. Like you said, your money is staying here in the community and these programs are helping people in the community. I just wanted to make sure we put that in for anybody who didn't know that, like me.
I didn't know that either. So that was great. I love what you said, Chris, about what your community needs, because every community has a different need, right? And everybody wants the blanket statement, but it could be a specific need during a certain season, and the needs change. And you are there, boots on the ground, to see those needs and to adjust and make the right call. So I love that. I love that we we're able to help it, because I didn't know that either. So that was a learning moment for me.
It's a very interesting model, but I think it's great. And the way you described it as the bottom up mentality is perfect. I think it's fantastic.
Am I allowed to ask my question now?
Yeah, you can go down. I
just want to make sure. No, that was great. That was good. Good call. All right. So to fit these needs, what can we expect out of this wonderful Blueprint program?
So the curriculum is meant to help participants grow and understand the true roles and responsibilities of policymaking positions and nonprofit boards. So this program teaches leadership skills that translate to professional, personal, and community development, as well as deeper awareness of systemic community challenges. So that's really the main focus of it. And to your point, Amanda, when you talked about, knowing kind of what board is the right fit, that's a very real thing. If you're not on a board that you're passionate about or that you're a right fit for, it may not go so well. Some people might think, well, I want to be on a board. Boom, there's an opening. I'm going to get on it. You have to figure out how to vet that board just like they would vet you. And so this talks about all those different things. So I'm going to throw it over to Teresa, and she's going to kind of go a little more in depth on what those courses look like and what they cover.
Yeah, so we have 4 classes. was called a cohort. So we have one cohort, and we will be meeting every Thursday in the month of September. And the classes that we will cover will have board governance and fiscal and ethical responsibilities. So fiscal and ethical responsibilities. So in that course, they're going to learn like fundamentals of board governance. They're going to learn ethical leadership and integrity, emerging trends and challenges. So then the following Thursday, we'll reconvene. We'll talk about cultural sensitivity and public policy. So in there, they'll understand like what is cultural diversity, policy formation and implementation, also advocacy and social justice. And then we have our third topic, which would be our third class, which would be strategic planning and resource development. So in that one, they'll learn, we'll have an introduction to what is strategic planning? What is that all about? Fundraising and revenue. You have to have funds. You have to have fundraising, right? And collaboration and partnership. And then that last class is really designed for, we'll have a panel. And so we'll have Q&A, we'll have our panel there. They'll answer questions. They'll tell about their journey. They'll talk about their experiences, what it was like being on a board, and then we'll follow that up with an award ceremony. So that's pretty much the layout of the courses, and we really hope that people will walk away, like Chris said, with some additional leadership skills, and also a better understanding of board of governance and the structure itself, right, and the financial piece of it. And so that's the hope of the program. This is our first one. This will be our first cohort rolling out this year. So we're excited to see what happens.
I think it's great. Even if nothing else, giving somebody who's maybe never been on a board or a committee in that role to just know what they're walking into, and just giving them an idea, so they don't just go in blind and being like, hey, I'm at my first meeting. I have no idea what's going on. That was what I did the first time, right? So it's like,
Exactly.
have that knowledge of, okay, here's at least like the shell of what that responsibility is going to be, and get filled in and give them a couple like steps of a head start going into those positions. That's just such a great, this whole thing's a great idea. I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing.
I also feel like it would be good for those who are, maybe they've started a nonprofit and just getting started. They don't even have a board yet. And these are things that they need to learn themselves, and be characteristics that they're looking for their other board members, because like I said, you never know. So that is, I didn't think about that when we first talked, but as you were talking, I'm like, oh, these are things where people who started, we've talked to several people who have newer nonprofits, or even those who are like, man, I keep going through board members like cotton candy. Like, what is going on? This would be, even if you've had it, this would be a wonderful class to join. Again, to horn in on your skills, be like, oh, maybe it's me. This is what I learned. Oh, this is what needs tightened up. Like that. This sounds just incredible for anybody looking, like you said, to be in a leadership position, to understand how these things work, and really how to give back to your community, and to add to whatever nonprofit that you're passionate about, or that if you're donating to nonprofits often, guys, this is also something to think about, because where's your money going? These are also good things to know. So I feel that, and Chris, you mentioned earlier about people like being on the wrong board. The nonprofits these are passion. I don't call them passion projects because not projects, but these are definitely passionate organizations, which usually means they have a heart for it, and it's the thing that's not easy. It's not something for everybody. These are the things that somebody's like, I have identified with this. This is a struggle, which means you're going to have to push through a lot of stuff to help those in need. That's never going to be something that's this lollygag through a flower field, guys. Like, you have to love it. You have to really understand it and really feel that that's that passion about it. Recognizing those characteristics in yourself and the mission statements of these organizations, it really sounds like this program is going to cover all of that. And who doesn't need financial education?
Absolutely.
Let's just there on that.
Worth it for that.
If nothing else, like
Nothing else.
and this sounds like for kind of all age ranges too. Like in me, I'm envisioning newly graduated college students who are like, okay, I can't, maybe you're not fully in your field or you're newer, but you're wanting to be more involved and be a leader. What a wonderful opportunity for you to learn more and to really horn in on what you want to do and where you want to be at. Because again, you're going to help them kind of identify where they want to be. So those who, like I said, seasoned people who may have run a nonprofit for a while and it's doing well, but you're like, I keep going through people. So, okay, cool. Come to this and see what else you can give. Because again, things are changing. Communication is changing. Financials and the way that we handle them are changing. Fundraising and the way that you raise money is changing. You have to get more inventive and creative. How do you reach the people? So I love this. I love this because you hear this about, small businesses. You see this, the Jumpstart program, they have these. So I love that this is focusing on nonprofits specifically because these are directly in the community. These are directly affecting where you are in your community. So that's the thing we need to be educated about as a community and how we can help it grow and flourish. So I'm excited. I love this.
I'm excited too. And Amanda, also when you think about a program like this, even just the networking opportunities, right? That networking, the collaborations, there may be some mentorships come out of this, even some job opportunities, right? And so it's a win-win in my mind.
I agree. You're checking all the boxes here. You're checking all the boxes. Well, I mean, look what we're doing here. Essentially, that's the same thing. We're networking. We're learning more about the Goodwill organization and how to further our education. And now you guys have to come see me to get cookies. So, and then you get to come into the hotel and then I can market how we can help you there. You see how this works, guys?
I noticed that you said people go through board members like cotton candy. And I'm like, everything goes back to sweets on this podcast. I didn't call it out, but since you brought it up, everything goes back to sweets.
Cotton candy just dissolves real easy.
Right,
that's
right. I would say everything goes back to sweets for us. It's great.
Or how I go through cookies. Either way.
Exactly. So what is your state of your program, and when is the registration for those who may be interested? Just get that info in there as well. And how do they sign up?
So we begin on September 5th, which it's hard to believe is like a little over 3 weeks away, something like that. So they can sign up at goodwillgoodskills.org/project-blueprint/ so you see it on your screen there. They can go there, and once they're in there, they can click our register today button and begin to fill out the application. The link, that all should be live on our website right now. The program fee is $200, but this is by no means meant to be a moneymaker for us. We just want to make sure people have a vested interest. If they've got some money in it, then they're more likely to come to all the sessions and follow through, because we've got content matter experts who are coming in and facilitating these courses, and so we want to make sure that they've got a good audience to come and speak to. So, but if that cost is a barrier, reach out to us, let us know. There's ways that we can, maybe obtain sponsorships through Goodwill or other partners to cut down on that cost. But it begins again September 5th. It goes for 4 weeks, Thursdays from 5 to 7. And that last session, like Teresa said, there's a panel, so you get a chance to really talk to some folks who have a lot of experience in boards and being leaders in our community. They can kind of help answer questions and guide folks. And then there's graduation and, some snacks and cool stuff. So yeah.
Is there going to be cookies from the DoubleTree?
There might be.
I literally knew that was coming.
Get that donation letter in there.
Hey, listen, we might be able to work that out. We'll talk off camera. My boss is gonna be like, "What did you tell them?" Like, listen, I'm over here hustling.
It's okay.
I'm hustling cookies to bring back leadership skills. Leave me alone.
We're a trade-off. We're doing it for the community. We're doing it for the people.
Well, we trade with Downtown Canton Partnership. That's how we partner up. We trade off our, I don't want to say clout. That was a terrible description of what we do. That's not it. That's not about it, guys.
Just so you know, next year I'm going to drive a harder bargain. We're going to get cookies included in that trade-off. I wasn't included in the negotiations this year. I will be in 2025.
That's because you talked to the wrong person. You got to talk to the cookie girl over here.
Year 2, we're coming for it all.
Absolutely. I would love that. You guys, is there anything else that you want to leave our audience with as far as making sure that they know about the Goodwill or the Blueprint program, or you guys individual other things that are coming up, or the type of donations that you guys are looking for now? I want you to have this opportunity to tell us what our community needs.
So I first and foremost want to thank you for having us on. We very much appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who does donate and shop and helps us with our mission. We could not do it without all of our donors and all of our shoppers, but we're always in need of donations, and that is something that we're always looking for different avenues. We have a trailer that you can go to on our website and you can book the trailer. We bring it to your house. We drop it off in your driveway. We leave it there for up to 7 days, and then we come and we pick it back up and take it. So if you have a lot of stuff you need to clean out, maybe you want to do some late summer, early fall cleaning, or you've got somebody who's downsizing or whatever the case may be, we can do that. Drop that trailer off, makes it super simple. We've gotten a really good response from that. Anytime you don't know what to do with something, please think of us, because those donations really are used to improve lives in your community in multiple ways. And we're located on 9th Street, 408 9th Street Southwest in Canton. We have a campus that has, I believe, around 20 different nonprofits in it that we operate, and we charge very minimal rent for those nonprofits. So they have an opportunity to serve their clients and be in a nice space that they don't spend as much money on. Wow. We welcome visitors to come. You can personally give me a call or email me. I'd love to give you a tour so you could really see what is happening here in your community and what we are doing to support those in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Teresa, you have anything to add?
Cool information.
No, Chris said a lot there. I just want everybody to come sign up for Project Blueprint. You mentioned a deadline. We really don't have a strict deadline, but we do want people to, to sign up at least so we'll know who to expect, and we'll know we'll have enough material and all of that.
Looks like Teresa's having slight connection issues, but we will make sure that we share the information too. We do have your flyer, so to get the word out there about this, because I don't think that this is something that people should miss out on, and they need to know that, hey, this is something going on, and if you missed the first cohort, comes to me in the second one. So we can support and share the information, because like Mike said, there's so many nonprofits in Stark County alone. Like there's a lot, and something for everybody. So I absolutely love that. I love you guys for coming on here and sharing this information about the Goodwill in general. I do love to donate. I'm very specific on where I donate to, because I like to make sure that it gets into the community. And I think that there might be some, like Mike said, a common misconception about it being nationwide and how how it runs. So I love the clarity of this. I am that person who rides around with her donations in her trunk for a little while longer than she should.
Aren't we all? Listen, I go to stores quite frequently, and I still have stuff in my car. So.
I might have donations in my trunk right now. I needed my people to know you're not alone. You'll get there when it's time. I understand. And usually it's like, oh, a Goodwill. Oh, I got this stuff in my trunk. We never plan. It's silly. Now, but I love that. I needed people to know they weren't alone. I told y'all this is a podcast for the people.
Podcast for the people, like you said.
Podcast for the people. So But don't let that stop you. It's okay. We all do it. Don't let that stop you from donating. But now you learned a little bit more about the Goodwill. And so when you donate, you can donate with a little bit extra smile and be like, hey, I know this is going back to my community. I know what this is supporting. And like they said, reach out to them if you have questions or maybe issues with the registration fee, or maybe the deadline's like, hey, I can have it by this day. Just call. Talk to them. These are amazing two individuals who have given you the open opportunity. So don't be afraid. If you're like, man, that sounds really cool, call them, see what you can do. See how the schedule can work out for you, and just see what other opportunities there are for you. Chris, Teresa, thank you so much. You've been awesome. And we definitely look forward to having you back on to talk about how well the event went and when the next cohort's going to be.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
You guys have a wonderful day, and we will be in touch for sure.
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to your newest coworker, Alex, who is the one new marketing girl there who plugged us in together. Alex has been a friend of mine for a really long time. So thank you to Alex for setting this up, because he's the one that put it on our radar and was like, you guys should really talk about this, and linked it all up. So shout out to you, Alex, because
I love that. Shout out to Alex.
Benefit I've never had, so I got to make sure I plug Alex. She's a dear friend of mine, and she's going to be great. I think she's probably been there for like a month at this point, month or two, but she's going to be amazing for that organization. She's going to be spectacular.
Yep.
I love that. Alex, take that in. Take that all in.
Well, thank you guys again. We appreciate it greatly.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I learned more that I think usually it's you who have like these learning moments. I think it was me today. It was me. I love that.
Great topic and a great event happening, right? Like that is so, not just the need is there, but such an incredible organization that, like you said, knows, hey, this is what's going on. I love the part where they said, you know, your board should be complimentary of the community you're in, you know, and making sure the right people get the right seats at the table who can really implement change through these organizations in their community. That was such a great point. And this is such a great thing to give people those opportunities. Like I'm blown away by it. I think it's spectacular.
I think it's beautiful because I don't think I ever thought about it being such a need. We have so many nonprofits in Canton, like you said, and nobody starts a nonprofit for fun. Like they started because there's a need, right? So
they definitely don't do it for financial reasons and money. I'll tell you that. Working in the nonprofit industry before and being onto it, so
it's a hard thing. So definitely making sure that your board represents your community to make sure that the change that you're trying to implement is effective. So important. I don't think I would have thought of that being the need. So I love that there was a group of individuals out there who seen it, who wanted to make sure this program stayed alive, and Goodwill took it in, gave it the heartbeat that it needs, and is making this blueprint program happen. So I look forward to more that's only going to further our community and make it that much better. So I love it.
I think it's great. And I think hopefully they get a big turnout for their training program, because it's a super awesome thing we're doing. And like we said in the podcast, no better organization to be the ones to run it than Goodwill.
Absolutely.
You know, everything else they're doing, it fits in so well, and it's just great all around. So kudos to them for picking it up, but kudos to United Way for being like, hey, this might not be our thing anymore, but we don't want it to go away. Here's the perfect organization to take it, and approaching them to say, hey,
those are two
transition this.
Yeah, exactly. Those are two organizations who you can tell that really care about the community. We hear so much. What are they doing for community? Nobody cares about us. That's just simply not true. We have to open our eyes, guys, because there really is. We have to figure out where you're looking for your resources. So let's get you connected with the right people, because they absolutely do care. They want to see this community succeed. They want to help people. They want it to grow. So let's spread this word. Let's make sure that your friends and family know about this, so we can help do that in our own way.
Agreed.
Perfect. Mike, another amazing episode of the Downtown Scoop. Keep going.
We're killing the game on this podcast, I think.
I know. I
Humble
think we
brag.
are. I think
Humble
we
brag.
are. You guys let us know though. Always let us know. Message us with your ideas or reviews of this podcast at the Downtown Canton Partnership Facebook page, or you can message me or Mike directly if you're friends with us. If you're not friends with us, why are you not friends with us on Facebook? So fix that.
This idea came up from that. Like we said, a friend of mine that just reached out and said, "Hey, I got someone to connect you with," and then we all met up and like, we'd like to be on your podcast. And it was like, oh, cool. So it's like, it came from a referral. So reach out because we'd love to hear what you guys are doing and help you put it out there.
For sure. Guys, have a wonderful day. Thank you again. Until next time. Bye, guys.